Bridgewater was a paranormal enthusiast driven by a dream to make groundbreaking discoveries in the supernatural realm. For years, he ventured alone into supposedly haunted places to uncover the true nature of ghosts. After years of investigation, Luke uncovered a harsh truth: ghosts don't exist. The so-called supernatural phenomena were mere illusions caused by magnetic field disturbances and could be explained scientifically. This revelation left Luke devastated, as his lifetime of research seemed worthless. Disillusioned and depressed, Luke considered ending his life. Just as he was about to jump out of his apartment window, a fellow paranormal enthusiast called him with startling news: zombies were real. Revitalized by this new lead, Luke delved into his research and discovered that the concept of zombies originated in Africa and was closely linked to viruses. Modern Hollywood films depicted zombies as virus-infected creatures, suggesting a basis in reality. Intrigued, Luke became obsessed with understanding why zombies craved human flesh, especially hearts. With no clear answers, Luke devised a daring plan: to become a zombie himself and discover the truth firsthand. He contacted various paranormal groups and eventually learned of a small, remote village in the southern United States where zombie sightings had been reported. Luke packed his bags and left immediately. Once there, he roamed the countryside, hoping to attract the attention of a zombie. His persistence paid off when a rotting, foul-smelling zombie approached him. Driven by his obsession, Luke offered the creature his arm. The zombie bit him, beginning a transformation that would lead to his ultimate discovery. Over the next few days, Luke's body deteriorated rapidly. As he turned into a zombie, an instinctive knowledge surfaced in his mind: zombies needed to consume 100 human hearts to regain their humanity. The process was horrifying, but the promise of becoming a powerful human-zombie hybrid was irresistible. Determined not to harm innocent people, Luke scoured hospital morgues for hearts. He found 97 hearts in storage, consumed each one, and felt his strength and vitality slowly return. But with only 3 hearts left to consume, his desire became uncontrollable. Succumbing to his urges, Luke attacked hospital patients, tearing out their hearts in a frenzy. He rationalized that their deaths were justified by the importance of his research. After consuming the last heart, Luke expected to return to human form. Instead, he realized to his horror that his body couldn't handle the sheer volume of hearts he was consuming at once. His stomach burst, spilling the remains of his gruesome feast. Luke died, a victim of his own insatiable greed, leaving behind a grim reminder of the dangers of obsession. Stay tuned for the next story. Did you have any childhood fears that stayed with you? Today, we bring you a story from Kai, a 25-year-old from a small town in Maine, who's now a freelancer. Let's hear his story. It happened in the summer of 2009. Kai was 8 years old. His parents moved to the city to give him a better education. His mom worked as a waitress at a restaurant, mostly on night shifts, and took care of Kai during the day. His dad drove a delivery truck for a local beverage company, working late into the night. They lived in an employee dormitory provided by the beverage company, a 3-story building with large open rooms. Their room was divided by a wooden partition, giving Kai a small room of his own near the window. It was a cozy setup, except for the constant noise from the nearby factory. One night, while Kai was doing his homework by the window, he heard a strange noise coming from outside. It sounded like drums and cymbals, as if a parade was passing by. Curious, he looked out the window but couldn't see much through the darkness and the trees lining the street. However, in the faint light from the distant street lamp, he saw something odd along the wall of the building. A procession of small, half-foot-tall figures, dressed in colorful clothes, were moving along the wall, making the noise. They looked like little puppets, walking stiffly, and one by one, they disappeared into a crack in the wall. Fascinated, Kai decided to investigate. He put on his shoes and rushed downstairs. But when he reached the spot, there was nothing there. The crack they had entered was gone, as if it had never existed. Puzzled, Kai heard a faint tapping sound, like fingernails on glass, coming from a nearby window with its glass painted over. He scratched away the paint with a stone, revealing a small, round eye staring back at him. Shocked, he realized it wasn't just one eye. As he cleared more paint, he saw dozens of eyes, all watching him. Scared, he dropped the stone and ran back to his apartment, locking the door behind him. Trying to calm himself, Kai turned on the TV but found only horror movies, which made things worse. He decided to go to bed early. Just as he was drifting off, he heard his father's voice outside, calling for him to open the door. Confused, Kai remembered his father never drank, yet the voice sounded drunk. He cautiously looked through the peephole and saw someone who looked like his father, but shorter, with a malicious grin and the same small, round eyes he had seen in the window. Terrified, Kai bolted back to his room and hid under the covers. The knocking grew louder and more violent until it stopped abruptly. Kai realized he couldn't stay inside, he had to escape. He tied his bed sheets together and tried to lower himself out of the window. Just then, he heard his real father's voice from outside, shouting for him to come back in. Turning back, he saw the small, imposter father at the window, staring at him with those eerie eyes. In his panic, Kai lost his grip and blacked out. He woke up 3 days later in a hospital. His father had been fired from his job for unknown reasons, and his family had called a local priest for help. Kai learned that on the night of the incident, his father had encountered a strange old woman who tried to hitch a ride. Fearing for his safety, he had sped off, accidentally dragging her along, until she transformed into a swarm of rats that scattered into the night. Thank you for listening to today's story. If you enjoyed it, please follow, comment, and share. Until next time.